Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. I just read in a German newspaper, well, because it's morning in Germany right now, I guess, that President Trump tested positive for the China bug. First, it just said that one of his advisors was tested positive and that he waits for his test result in isolation. And now the news is out that his wife and himself, they both tested positive. So I want to make a couple of statements, and I also want to describe briefly what the German news said and what the commentators in the open comment section under the article said, which is rather shocking. So, first of all, general remarks. Being tested positive doesn't mean that one is sick, okay? It might be that he never gets any symptoms and that it all passes, like it does in many cases. However, he is already a little old, he's not the youngest person. I don't know of any prior illnesses. He's not a diabetic, according to my knowledge, for example, and his heart seems fine. So, yeah, the chances that he gets through this all right are pretty good, I would say. And I should say right away that I wish that he never gets any symptoms, so he doesn't really get sick from that it passes, and if he gets sick, that he makes a speedy recovery. The same goes for his advisor and his wife, of course. So that being out of the way, that being said, um, it is, of course, it is already, this news is already impacting the election campaign, obviously, and we will see what it will actually do. If it is to his advantage, even, or if it's a big disadvantage, if he obviously has to stop the his live events now, he has to go into quarantine at least, and probably take a break from that. Let's see how long it will take and if he um, develop symptoms or not. So the German article was rather matter of fact, I would say, that I read on Welt.de, a Springer online news site. But the comments below were rather shocking, I have to say. So first of all, the mask thing. It's many people said, that serves him right because he never wears his mask, and the article went into that direction. Also, this is of course very dumb. I know the Democrats will say that now, haha, so now you finally see that. Yeah, okay. First of all, Donald Trump wears a mask. Yeah, he just doesn't wear it always whenever a camera is pointed at him, like the Democrats and also the European left does. There are so many instances they always have the mask on, even though, as Trump said, nobody is standing close to them. If you're standing alone in a 10-meter radius, there is no need for a mask, okay? But they have it on anyway because they know that they're on camera or someone is taking a picture. And that is a big difference already in an approach, to this public relations when it comes to masks, okay? And then you have these holiday pictures of these people, these German leftists, for example, or they had a party event of the SPD, and they think that there is no camera pointed at them, and they're standing together, they hug each other, and like several, like maybe 10, 20 centimeters distance in a really crowded room, no one is wearing a mask, and that's perfectly fine, right? So there is a lot of hypocrisy here. I don't even take that serious. But the more serious point is that, of course, masks are not a 100% protection. And especially it's not protection for the person who wears it. A mask rather protects the people around the person who wears the mask, okay? So if you want to say anything, then that people in Trump's around Donald Trump were probably not wearing their mask. And even that is nonsense because, I mean, bus drivers, they wear a mask in Germany at all times and they still get sick. People who deliver the mail, people who work in supermarkets, generally people who go to work, people who don't just since March were bunkered up at home, people who have to go out there and do work like Donald Trump is doing. He's campaigning, right? He has maybe not to shake a lot of hands, but he still is in rooms with people. It can't be avoided. And you have a real risk, mask or no mask. And if people, I'm just frustrated with low IQ people who don't get that there is a probability, and the mask, of course, it chips on that probability a little bit, maybe 5%, I don't know, it's a little lower, whatever, it's a statistical effect, but it doesn't reduce it to zero. It's a little bit of help. It's like coughing into your elbow instead of coughing into a room or something. We all know these heat images, these infrared camera images of someone freely sneezing into a cold room, and you see how his like all these ejecta fill the room, right? And the mask is a little barrier. Yeah, that's all it is. It doesn't mean that it protects everything and everyone at all times, okay? And if you're too stupid to get that, then it's kind of your problem, okay? So there is absolutely no reason in saying that this is karma now for his stance on masks or something. No, Donald Trump was absolutely correct on masks. He wears it when he needs it, and he's perfectly aware of the truth, of the objective truth, that it doesn't protect you from anything. Yeah, not 100% at least. Okay, all right. So the other thing is that people just generally in the comment section were saying, "Well, I hope he succumbs to that disease, and I hope that this and that and the other, that he will die, right? And serves him right, and all that stuff, and a lot of sarcastic, not, in my opinion, not funny remarks, because it's a serious thing. I also wouldn't joke about somebody of another party or someone I don't like getting that disease. I mean, with serious consequences, of course. Most people, as I always say, never even develop symptoms. Most people just have mild symptoms then, and it's a teeny, teeny, tiny minority, and most of them are very old and have pre-existing conditions who actually need to be ventilated or need to be in intensive care or anything like that, okay? So let's all bear that in mind, and I don't think it's funny, and I don't think it shows anything because all sorts of people get tested positive all the time with that thing. Yeah, it spreads. It is a virus. It is a pathogen that spreads rather quickly from person to person. Yes. And then people also commented, well, that serves him right because he said that it's just a cold, which is not true, I think. I never said that. Trump never said that. I think the comparison was with a flu. And the flu, I have to remind people time and time again, also on this channel, is a serious disease. The flu is not a joke. If you have real influenza, a real flu, this is not a joke. Yeah, depends. I mean, from person to person, from year to year. But even young and healthy people, like athletes, I know, like in winter sports, for example, if you get the flu during your preparation as an athlete, you can forget about the next season. You can totally forget about it. It takes weeks, and then you're weakened, and you can't train, and you lose muscle mass. It's really bad. You lose your stamina. You have to start not from zero, but it throws you back big time. The flu is not a joke. Tons of people die from it. It's very dangerous, and this is what the China bug was compared to. So don't say that comparing it to the flu would mean that it's harmless, okay? Comparing it to a flu means it's serious, but we never shut down our country. We never shut down borders. We never shut down our economy for a flu. And that is the comparison that's being made. And I think after so many months, it's so embarrassing that so many people still haven't understood that, and they never even made the effort to research if they don't know. I mean, I think it should be general knowledge, but common knowledge, but to research what a flu is, what an influenza virus is. I mean, it's a serious thing. It's not a joke, okay? And if you ever had it, you wouldn't be thinking that, okay? All right, so this is my initial response. I'm sure there are many, many more things to say. Feel free to comment down below if you have any thoughts on that. And let me know. I think in the US it's still sleepy time, but once people wake up and read that news, I think there will be. I mean, I haven't read it yet because I haven't seen anything from the US yet, just from Germany. But I can imagine from the US there will be horrible, horrible reactions from the Democratic side, from those who hate the president. And once again, I have to remind people, if you want to see how vicious and disgusting these people are, Just um, look on YouTube, for example, or also with a search engine. Just look at the reactions when Margaret Thatcher, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, when she passed away. Just look at the reactions of those people if you want to see how rotten and vile and just horrible these people are, while they are the ones who talk about decorum and manners and oh he's not civilized and oh this is not what a Western democracy looks like. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, look at those leftists, how they literally, well, figuratively dance on her grave. And drinking sparkling wine and celebrate and all that stuff. Just look at that. And then the same people, they want to talk about tact and decorum and empathy and all that stuff. Give me a break. All right. So as I said, let me know what you think about that. And I think we all want to wish the president once again that he doesn't get sick, because once again, being tested positive doesn't mean you're sick. It means you carry the pathogen in you. You were tested positive with it, but it doesn't mean that you're actually sick. You don't have any symptoms yet, and that would be the best, if he just stays strong and can continue his campaigning. But if not, then at least that he has a speedy recovery. That's it from my side for this time. Servus, Kameraden.